Howdy folks, I'm going to do a little video this morning I've been meaning to do for a while on a couple knives that I got off of Etsy. So stay tuned through it. I got a lot of thoughts on them at the end, what I think of these. So let's get going. Come on. Yo. Alright, here we go. And then the knife you just saw me using is this knife here. Now let me get you a little backstory on what's going on. Forget about this knife for a minute. I went on Etsy because I've never had like a real Pukko knife. And I just got a hankering all of a sudden. That's what happens, where I'm like, man, I could use that. That's what happened about getting that kukri. I just did some videos on, like, all of a sudden I was like, you know what, I'm ready to get a kukri. Well, I was ready to get a Pukko knife about 2-3 months ago. And I figured a good place to go look was on Etsy. Online. Used to be handmade stuff. I used to sell handmade bamboo flutes that I would make on there. And I don't know, it just got to be where the cost of selling on there was just too much. It wasn't worth all the time I'd take to make the flutes. And then they ended up taking like 15% out. And the other thing was, like, I can't just charge $150 for these flutes. It's not fair. So I wasn't really making hardly anything off these flutes, and ended up getting off Etsy. But that was a couple years ago. I hadn't been on Etsy since. So I hopped on Etsy to go look for a handmade Pukko knife, thinking that, oh, I'll find a hand-forged one. There were some cool ones. I hadn't been looking too long, and I came across this one here. Doesn't look bad, I guess. You know, in this video, you can see, so the way they took the pictures, it was angled to where it looked a lot slimmer, looked a lot better. It was the same knife. You know, I'm the one that got fooled in the first place. But I seen the price of it was like $120, but they were doing a sale for half off. And I was like, oh man. Didn't really do too much research like I normally do. I just like ended up buying it. Paid $60 for it. And in the message I left to the seller, I said, hey, I got a small YouTube channel. I'm really excited to get this knife. I'm gonna do a little video on it if you don't mind. And he messaged me right back and was like, yeah, I mean, that's awesome. I'm so excited to see our knives in the video. And I'm like, oh, this is cool. He's like, I'm going to send you an extra one so you can have two. And that's how it came about this one. He sent this one with it. So I get these in the mail. Well, backtrack just a little more. So a couple days go by after making the purchase on Etsy. And I started, you know, I just had this funny feeling after I got back on the guy's Etsy site and started looking, and he said he had tons of knives on there. I hadn't really looked before, but tons of the same models. And originally in the description it says handmade, hand-forged bullshit. And I started looking deeper. He said, oh, I do this part-time for fun. And I started thinking, well, how's this dude making all these knives in a little bit of spare time for fun? And so I went on eBay and started looking up Pukko knives. And all of a sudden, the same ones pop up that are on his site from a different seller. And I should have known this from the start. I feel like a dumbass, but, you know, it happens. You gotta learn your lessons. I normally don't do it like that, and I'm never gonna, hopefully, ever get fooled like this again. But so on eBay, there was a few different sellers selling these same knives, and some of the other ones that were on his site, and they were selling them for like $30-40 a piece. So they were even cheaper at regular price on eBay than they were on Etsy, where he had the price jumped up and also saying they were 50% off for a sale. I think in the message I'd sent him, I was like, man, this is so cool. I got this knife half price too. Thank you so much. And he's just going along with it. Oh yeah, it's great. Turns out they're always half off. And then I started looking into Etsy even more, and there's a lot of sites on there where they leave stuff half off regular price all the time because it makes it look better. So what the hell has happened to Etsy is it has been sabotaged by a bunch of cheap crap. Cheap knives. I didn't even want to put this thing to use. I mean, you can see how bent it is. This thing probably weighs half a pound. It ends up coming with this little etched on here, the blade point. So then I go look up the blade point, and that is that's another, it was a website where they basically buy cheap knives from India, or no, Pakistan, China, and it said Germany, but I just can't see that happening too, because usually knives coming out of Germany aren't too bad, you know, even the cheaper ones. And I've had some really good ones, even the cheap ones there. But this thing, I mean, it's just a piece of crap. But I'm the one that got fooled. So, and also, it made it just a little better that I paid $60 and got 2 cheap knives. This one is cheap too, but this one's full tang. This blade is probably even thicker than the other one. I know it's definitely 3/16, if not a 1/4 inch. And, I mean, it's a little better. Also has the blade point on the blade. But, I mean, still, like, in the video, as you guys just saw, so after I attempted to do that first feather stick, it was getting so dull already that I paused the video and sharpened the knife up just a little bit, just to be able to try and get through that second half-ass feather stick. Now, I could have just doubled down and just, you know, you gotta also watch out with YouTube videos reviewing knives, because, I mean, I'm not saying I'm the best by far, and I'm not the most skilled. I'm just a dude that likes running around in the woods, having fun, been doing it my whole life. I like just kind of messing around, honing my skills. So I kind of got a couple feather sticks out of this. I mean, the spine was sharp enough to scrape a little fat wood. I put it in a half-ass bird nest, and it was barely good enough to where I could get a spark enough to get a fire going back here with this thing. This is just a tiny little heavy, this thing probably weighs half a pound also. And it comes with this, both of them came with a sheath, which I do a lot of leather work, and I almost feel like this is like about as cheap of leather as you can get. Might even be fake. It's got these cool little snaps. You could sit there and carry it scout carry, but I wouldn't trust that, because just jiggling around a little bit, you're going to lose your knife. Basically what I'm getting at with this video, so I wasn't even going to say the name of the seller on Etsy at first. I actually messaged him after getting these knives and said, look, man, I really appreciate that you gave me the extra knife, but that's the only thing that makes it halfway all right. And I called him out on other people selling the same knives and that he didn't make them. And I said, are you sure you, I said, I'm just asking if you still want me to make a YouTube video out of these. I'm going to be honest about them on there. I haven't tried them out yet. I might like them, but blah, blah, blah. Just trying to be halfway respectful. And I never heard back from him. And it's been a few months. It's getting really close to Christmas time. People are buying gifts for family. So I just wanted to give out a warning. And I'm going to say the guy's name on here. The name on Etsy was Sal from New NYC. Sal from NYC. And I don't know. Basically, I got fooled. I didn't return the knives because I'm the one that bought them. I'm not that kind of guy. Maybe I should have, but yeah, I just learned a lesson out of it. I got some really cheap, terrible, crappy knives. Still haven't bought a Pukko since then. I'd love to get a real handmade, hand forged Pukko just to full tang, test it out. I've never really had one. I've never even had a Mora, which I guess could be pretty close to a Pukko, but I don't know. It's getting close to Christmas. I'm going to show you all both these knives once more. There's a lot of different styles they sell. They might even have been selling something like this on Amazon. You can get them on eBay for like $30 or $40. Now, if you're looking for something for like your kid who's, just becoming, a young teenager or something, and he or she is wanting a little fixed blade, something they're not going to be able to do too much damage with, can beat the hell out of, maybe lose it by accident and not have to worry about it. Maybe it'd be a good little gift for somebody like that. But I wouldn't even go that far because, go get them something else. I spent a total of like $60 to get these two hunks of metal here, and they're not even worth my time. They really weren't even worth this video, and who knows if anybody will even watch this video. But I'll just buyer beware. And I'm sure a lot of you already know all this. Maybe a couple of you have gotten duped before. If you did, shout it out in the comments. Let people know. I'm not afraid to know when I've made a mistake. I don't double down. What I do is try and remember what I did wrong or how I got duped, and try never to let that happen again. That's about it. That's all I got for this video. These things are shite. They're junk. Don't buy them. I appreciate you all watching. Hit that like button, subscribe. I'm rising up over 400 subscribers, which is super cool. Couldn't do it without y'all. And when I get to 500, I'm going to do a giveaway. Pretty sure I know what I'm going to do, but just like, share, and subscribe with your friends. Help this channel grow. I can't do it without y'all. I really appreciate you. I'm going to try to keep on pumping out some real content, not these crappy little junk knives. Just wanted to show y'all what was up, and I'll catch y'all later. Have a good one.